What's up, people? Well, I'm going to quick update what I've been doing. I think I've decided what I'm going to do from now on is, instead of me showing you more of me doing the work, I'm going to show you more of me, the work I've done, and then just explain up and how I've done it and why I've done it. Because otherwise it takes forever for me to do a little job and explain whilst I'm doing it, when I can just show you what I'm doing, what I've done. You understand me? Right. So, now, here we go. Right. So, we've seen the engines in. Suspension is on. Right. So, we've got drive shafts in. So, we can work out drive shaft angles. We know our gaps. So, the engine is where it needs to be. So, what I've done around here is I've connected the subframe to the chassis. So, what we've got down here is 3mm wall box, and this is 3mm wall box here, right? Now what is on the inside of this is drilled through with a M10. Behind this section here there is a thicker piece of steel, right? I'll tell you what I might be able to do. I'll show you on this subframe. Maybe we'll see it or not. Yeah, you see that piece of steel? This piece of steel here. Right. So what I do is at the side of that bolt hole, say I think it was like 15mm over, I think. I drill another hole. Right? And in this box, I drill a 3/8 hole. And I insert a wheel stud. You might think, wheel stud? But what's one of the strongest bolts on a Mini? The wheel stud. They're high tensile, 3/8 UNF, press fit, really strong. So what I do is I insert one of those through this side, press it in, and then I just put a little TIG weld on it to hold it still. And then it's bolted in from the inside. All this framework, cut to the angles. This is at a slight angle to this. This is at 7 degrees, I think. 7-degree incline. But all you do is you put your box section on top of. So what I do is I'll put the box section on top of that 1 inch and the box section on top of this 1 inch. Yeah, so you form in like a bridge. And then you'll get your square. Run it up. There's your angle. See what I mean? And you'll just scribe it. Scribe it there. And then do the same at this end. Obviously these won't be here. So you run that up against the side of this 1 inch. And there's your angles. They're really simple. So yeah, that's how you do the angles. This one's a little bit more tricky. But it's the same principle. That's sitting on top. Shove that in the corner, scribe it. Shove that there, scribe it. Join the scribes together. You've got your angle. Yeah? So that's the 6 of those. There's one straight, one in the middle. That's perfectly 90 degrees. And then one runs over to this corner. One runs over to your centre brace. Just like that. And then these ones, what I've done is I've had them so it follows this on. And that comes it's just another brace really. It just comes across to here. And then it's got a little, this is a 45 degrees here. It's got a little infill piece. You could theoretically come straight across to here. But you have to be careful of tyre clearance. You know what I mean? Once you turn, just that little bit of difference is quite a lot when there's a wheel going around here. So yeah, that's just same box as this, 40 by 20, I think it is, which is what, it's still bigger than the Maguire's run. So yeah, straight in there, straight in there. Needs a bit of a clean up still because I ain't just finished. So yeah, that's what I've done. This is a 45mm notch. You see, it's quite simple. Box section with a wheel stud in it, bolted to the back of the subframe. 3 pieces, 3 pieces, a long piece and that. This is how the miglias were sort of put together. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. If you think this is a better way of me doing things, just write a comment or something to say yeah. Or you want to see more in depth, or you want to, whatever you want to see. Yeah, I think this might be the better way of doing things. Me showing you what I've made and how I've made it, rather than me showing you as I'm making it. Right? I think. I don't know. But anyway, this is for you to decide. Just put in the comments if you think yes or no. I don't know. So right, from here then, now we need to start working on the suspension. More of the suspension. I think what we need to do, we need to put our shocks back in position. I had to move this one because I needed space. We have to make our A-frame. So we need to make the section for the back here, which is just going to be some bar, turned down on the lathe, threaded out to the 1/2 inch between pitch. And then we need to make our A-frame for that, right? So if you imagine, we need a support for this hole. Yeah, we need support for this hole. So we need to come down to here and then down to there. That is another reason for this. So we're going to have like an A-frame, like a tripod coming up, right? So we have that coming up. Welded to that is going to be my threaded insert. Then coming from here, up here, is going to be triangulation. So that is what we need to do now. We need to make these. So I'm going to make the slug first, and then we need to get some 1 inch so we can get this rolling like shocks, because I really like to see it up on its suspension. So when it's up on its suspension, then you can get an idea of wheel clearances and stuff. At the minute, it's going to clear, but I would like to see turn radiuses and stuff. Yeah? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some bungs first. So, let's get that done. When you don't have or can't buy the bolt you need, you make something. 0 play. That is a mini top suspension arm shaft. Cut in half, turn down. So I've got another one to do, yeah? And this is harder than this text I'm cutting, I'll tell you that. Right, boys and girls, I've knocked up some misalignment spacers for these. This is them. Where the bolt head sits, like that, which is what's going to go through this way. So I'll put a step, that's actually in the wrong way. So what it is basically is there's a step on him, see? And that step is going to get pressed into that tube. And then once it's pressed in, I'm going to TIG weld it round. And then this is going to get slash cut at a 45 degree. So we can put a 1 inch tube at the bottom of it. But you'll see that when we get there. Right, so they're in, pressed. Tell you what, took some getting in there. So then it's going to get tigged all the way around the edge. And then slash cut. And we're going to put another 1 inch tube on the bottom. Just like that. This is what I've been making. So those little bits have been pressed in there with some serious force. And then I'll get one of these. Go in there. One of these. Go in there. And that's the top shock mount outer side. So then you'll get another piece of tube which is going to go on there and go down to the front of the subframe. Right, gotta make the back halves now. See? Can't make it. Can't buy it. Make it. update. I'm going to say, building something to look like something that's already out there is considerably harder than building something. Right, so my bungs come up with these, right? Let's see where I need to be 6 in. Oh yeah, right. So this is steel bung. It started off as 40mm bar, turned it, chamfered it, turned it some more, turned it a little bit more, chamfered it, drilled it. The bottom half is tapped, top half is for the shoulder. So that's the one half. One of these on. Which goes on there first. Yeah. Then we have one of the multitude of parts. One of these has got to go on. These are probably going to need a little bit of a press. Yeah. Because I've made them very precise. I'll just press this on whilst I'm here. There we go. Right. So that's pressed in there now. But it's not welded. It will get welded when I know how long I need it to be. That is for the brace that runs up and over to support the bonnet. That will need to get cut down yet and shaped. So we've got that. And we've got this. And then what goes in there is this. So, shock goes in there. Comes with an Allen key. I'll just nip this up. You can see how my idea works. Yeah? So there is my top shock mount. Right? So that will sit where that is. And then the bar comes from here down to there. And there's going to be 2 bars here, which I'll show you in a second, and then 2 more bars. So I'll leave that on there, save me having to take it apart. And use my other one. This is my dummy shock. Press this button. Need more legs, people. Press. Good. There we go. Down there, down there. So that will leave like that somewhere, yeah? And I've already started making this sides. It's tube, and they fit like that around that part that I've just made. So one up from the back, one up from the front. Yeah? And I'll show you. So that's it there. And that's the back of. That's good. So yeah, you get me? So they fit together underneath. All that'll get welded, and then let me get a bit of bar. It's going to have one from here to the back of. See, I ain't watching far off going off to a new owner then. Once it's fully welded, obviously. So yeah, that's about where I am at the second. So I need to make these bars for the other side, these ones, which is just a notch, 25mm, and then just cut it off at that angle. Just keep taking little bits and little bits until you get them to the right position. Yeah, there we go. Pain in the arse. The work that this car's entailing just to get it how I like it, and it's not even mine. You know what I mean? The machining alone, just constantly having to mech stuff all the time. It's not like my chassis. Right then, I'm gonna get some more work done. See you shortly. Right, so where am I now, people? That last one I showed you, I realised I had a bit of an issue. This box didn't have enough room to spin. It was hitting the shock. So I did this. Yeah, radius, whatever you call it. And now it has room to manoeuvre. So, I'll do another one, shall I? I'll let you watch me for a little bit. How about that? Do you feel special now? Do y'all feel special? And the way I came up with that, it's just a bit of 38, draw it around it. Job's a good one. Right, to the belts under there. Make it look pretty. Bit of a deburr. The old, tell you what, these things are worth the weight in gold, these little things are. Just to tidy things up a little bit. I ain't done the inside of that one. There we go. Radius it is. Different noise getting out in here, people. Right, so now I think this can go in here now for the last time. Yeah, this is that side. I mean, these will get welded in position when they're in position. Yeah. Don't want to weld anything until I know where it's exactly where I want to go. I don't quite know the angle of these until I can get this bottom bar sort of in line. Yeah, somewhere about there for now. He'll do. So that's that. And that'll have a piece, I'm guessing, it's going to be about there to join the two. Yeah? I've got anything to put up there. It would help hold everything in place, wouldn't it? So what about if I just cut something for now? Where's the tape measure? If I want something, say there, I need something. We'll just cut something 20 inches. 20 inches of that. Where? Has anyone seen one of these? Hey? Right, so I'm going to first get my digi square. Probably a swarf. 0. Can you even see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can. Right, so from 0, this shock, 60 degrees. This shock, 60 degrees. So, to make it over the top of the head, it needs to be about there, you know. Which is, take it to 50 degrees just for now. Yeah? So then all we need to do is get this one up to 50 degrees. Yeah? And put this on. Just there. You know, let's get it on. The other reason I'm not welding them on is because I have no idea what the body's going to look like size wise. Yeah? Six, 7, 52. There. That is how they sort of run them. There we go. So that will be probably a bit shorter. But I don't know how. Yes, darling.
I need to borrow you 10 minutes.
How many?
10.
10?
Yes.
Jesus, do we 10 minutes?
You killed me.
Right, so where I'm at now, let's take over here. Right, set this up, yeah? So we can see how it's going to finish up. We've still got to prep our tubes, but what I want to make, we're going to make a tube for here, and then we're going to make a tube from here to here, and that will stop it being able to move. Can't rock back because it's being held that way because it's being held here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now, I think first of all, is I want to try and make that front one. It's going to there. So what we need to do is we need to make a bit of a measurement. If I can find a tape measure that I've literally just had. Yeah? So if we take, we're going to have to just come under this. So if I take a measurement of 18.5 inches, that should be plenty of tube for us to play around with. Do you agree? I think you do. 18.5 inch.